Hello guys, welcome to Hearts of EXO, where I will show you games that might fill your heart with love and bring a smile to your face. Now we're here in our cozy segment, and I'll be reviewing To the Moon and Finding Paradise, which I played on my live stream and finished. I actually played To the Moon before about 2 years ago, but I decided to replay it because I didn't remember the story that well, especially after playing Finding Paradise. I needed to recall the previous story and also play the minisodes that I hadn't experienced before. I have to say, these games are truly underrated. While I've seen some cozy game YouTubers talk about the moon, I've rarely seen anyone mention Finding Paradise or include it in their recommended game list. I mean, this game is truly a masterpiece. Honestly, I like it even more than To the Moon, and I will explain why without spoiling the story, of course. So, if I'm being honest, when I first played To the Moon 2 years ago and then revisited it now, I realized I didn't remember much of the story. The only thing that really stuck with me was the duo doctors. Their dynamic just works so well, and I love their interactions. They're funny, engaging, and still left the same impression when I replayed the game. If you haven't heard of To the Moon game, this game tells the story of two doctors, Neil Watts and Eva Rosaline, whose mission is to fulfill a dying patient's final wish by reconstructing their memories. In To the Moon, their patient is Johnny, and his wish is simple. He wants to go to the moon. That's all the information you get at the beginning. But as you progress, you explore his memories, searching for memory orbs and mementos to access different stages of his life, from old age to adulthood, then gradually back to childhood. So you can implant the desire into his earliest memories. It sounds simple, but unexpected events happen along the way. There are also some light puzzles required to activate the mementos, though in To the Moon they're not too difficult. It's mostly just flipping cards and matching them. The RPG elements were unexpected too. It's not like what you would typically see in other RPG games, and there's a lot of humor, especially from Neil. I love his quirky personality. He always made my day. And one thing about To the Moon is you really have to analyze the details in the game to fully grasp the overall of the story. I think that's why I didn't remember much from my first playthrough. There were parts I didn't fully understand back then. But even so, the story was both heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time. Now, on to Finding Paradise. This is the game that I really love so much that I actually prefer it over To the Moon. That's why I think it is so underrated because truly it's a masterpiece. Finding Paradise follows the same two doctors but with a different case. This time their patient is Colin, who was a pilot. The game improves a lot better in every way compared to The Moon. Gameplay, story, pacing, sound, design, and even humor, it was so much fun. I found myself laughing, getting goosebumps. Seriously, I got goosebumps so many times because there were so many unexpected moments that I never saw coming. The story had me hooked like crazy. I was constantly curious like what's going to happen next. And if you have played To the Moon, you know the case itself was already unusual. But I'm telling you, Colin's case and the way they explore his memories and mind is on a whole different level. While To the Moon had unexpected moments, the big reveal happened at the end, right? But in Finding Paradise, every single moment felt like a peak. I was shocked. They also increased the difficulty of the puzzles, but not to a frustrating level. I still managed to figure them out, and it was so much fun. I'm usually not a fan of puzzles because they're often too hard for me, but this one was different. And of course, our beloved doctor duo never disappoints. Another reason I love Finding Paradise more is that it's not just about Colin's story. It dives deeper into Sigmund Corp as well, and also more info about Eva and Neil. I truly felt healed by this duo. I had so much fun voicing them during my live stream. The RPG elements also increased in this game, giving it more of that classic old school RPG feel, which made it even more engaging. Finding Paradise really raised the bar. And the ending? As always, the writer is a genius. It almost made me cry. I love this story so much. I think the reason it resonates with me more is that I personally relate to Colin's story more than Johnny's. But of course, that might be different for everyone. Still, I have to say this again, play this game. Especially if you love story-driven, heartwarming, and emotional games, you will not be disappointed. Now, this has made me even more excited to play the other games in the series that I haven't tried yet, like Imposter Factory, which is also underrated by the way. I heard it's a murder mystery, which is one of my favorite genres. And then there's a bird story, especially since I've already played Finding Paradise, I need to play that game, and To the Moon Beach episode. Since this whole series is interconnected, there are some unanswered questions, and to get the full picture, you need to play all the games. Okay, so that's my review of these amazing games. It was truly an experience and I had a blast playing them. These games prove that video games are more than just entertainment. They tell meaningful stories that can teach us valuable lessons about life and about us as a human. So, have you played these games too? If you have, what are your thoughts? Let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!